Hello, hello, YouTube. Long time no chat, I know. It has been truly a crazy couple of months. I'm so sorry that I have not uploaded in I think like 2 months now. I definitely want to get back on the YouTube grind. I filmed like a couple of videos, but I just did not have the energy or the mental capacity to want to edit them at the time. So those were like practice rounds. But this time is going to be it. We're going to take it nice and easy and we're just going to do a little 3-day weekend cozy vlog. Now, I ended up having a day off of work today because I don't really know. It's like our district refresh days. So I've had off today and then, tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday, of course. So I definitely want to prioritize getting some reading done. I've already done some reading today and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, just a couple of life updates before we get into what the reading plans are. Obviously, I've chopped off my hair. You can't like see it too much, but that's one update. And then the biggest update, which I'm surprised that she has not made an appearance yet, but I actually adopted a cat like 2 weeks ago, and her name is Maisie, and she is like absolutely attached to me. So you will be seeing her in a lot of clips, and she is literally sitting on the window cat tree over there right now, but I will definitely get her in some clips so y'all can see her. She is like the most adorable cat ever. So we are currently in the process of introducing her to my other two cats who are way older than her. She is 9 months old and my other two cats are 11 years old. So we're having a little bit of an issue with introducing them right now. So if you see me a lot in my room, it's because I really just don't want her to feel alone all the time since this is like her safe zone. So yeah, just a little fun update for you guys. If you see a tail pop up into the frame at all, that is Maisie. And she is all black, and she, like I said, she's just the sweetest little girl. I love her so much. She's my baby. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to apologize one more time for not uploading as much. I jumped into the school year, and that came with like a lot of big changes in my personal life this year. Mainly that being like my boyfriend has started a like full-time job, and it's just been a big adjustment trying to get us to make a schedule to see each other and stuff like that. And I was just going through some mental health struggles, but that is why I'm here now, to hopefully continue this and get back into it, because I am so excited to be getting back into YouTube. I love YouTube. I love talking about books. And this morning when I woke up and I was like thinking about the 3 books that I'm currently in the middle of, I just was like, I am having such a great time with all 3 of these books. Why not just like take the opportunity for the long weekend to talk about these books and read them and get myself back into the YouTube groove. So that's the plan. So let's talk about what I am currently reading. I am currently in the middle of 3 books. We have a big chunky fantasy, we have a smaller fantasy, and then we have romantasy, if you even want to call it that, historical, whatever. So the first book I'm not going to hold up because like I said, it is chunky, but the first book that I've been working on for quite some time now is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I would say I'm probably like 150 pages, maybe almost 200 pages into this book, and I am really enjoying it so far. I am not going to try to explain it because the thing is that I understand what's going on in the book, but like trying to explain it to somebody else is not my strong suit. All I know is that it's very political, and it is also involved in dragons, and that's so much fun. Just reading a nice good old dragon fantasy, I'm having the time of my life. And I'm also getting hints, and I think I've heard this before, that there's going to be a sapphic romance, which, we can always go for that here on this channel. So yes, I am definitely loving it. There's so many different fun characters, and just the way that the world is built is really interesting, and the lore and the history of the world and the dragons and just everything is so cool so far. And I'm really, really curious to see what these next like 600 pages are going to look like, because this is like an 800-page book, and I feel like already like so much has happened, but also nothing has happened at the same time. Like we're still trying to set up everything, but we're like slowly developing it. I definitely think it is a slower book, so you really have to be in the mood for something like that. And at the time, I just really was. I really, really was. And so I'm not really in a rush to finish this one. I really just want to take my time and enjoy the ride. I'm like lightly annotating it with just a black pen just to kind of help me keep track of the fantasy world and everything like that. But yeah, I'm having such a fun time, and I definitely want to read more of that this weekend. The next book I am reading is another one physically, because I was realizing that as I was going through The Priory of the Orange Tree, that if I just stick with that book and like do not finish anything for like months, because that's how long that book will probably take me, then I'm probably gonna just feel like garbage. So I just decided, you know, why don't we pick up some like shorter books to also read, just to, like switch back and forth, so that way I can still finish books and still have a fun time reading The Priory of the Orange Tree and not just feel so much pressure about it. So I ended up picking up a book that I told my friend Max that I was going to read like months ago, and that just never happened. So now was the time. I was really in the mood to read it, and I'm really enjoying it. That book is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. This book is like anything I've ever read before. It's just very unique, and I'm very interested to see where it goes. So Piranesi follows this guy, Piranesi, and he lives in this place that he calls the house. And it's basically like this labyrinth where there's like statues everywhere, and there's different hallways and doors, and like it floods at certain times of the day. And he just lives there, and he journals about like what goes on in the house, and he like respects the house and like thinks it's the most beautiful thing on earth. But then there's also another character. The only other living person in the house is a man called the Other. And basically Piranesi and the Other are on a journey to discover this like knowledge that the Other is saying like, oh, it's so powerful, like we need to find this knowledge. But one day Piranesi finds out that they are not the only two in the labyrinth, and secrets unfold from there basically. But yes, I am probably about halfway through this. It's a very short book, and honestly, even though it takes place in like this confusing labyrinth that's like magical or inhuman or whatever you want to call it, it's just not a hard read. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just when I started reading it, it just immediately sucked me in. That's what I'm looking for. It immediately sucked me in, and I just was so interested in the world. I was so interested in Piranesi, and as I've gone through, like I said, secrets are unraveling, and we're learning maybe that the Other can't be trusted right now, and it's just a fun time. I'm really excited to see how the second half of this book goes. I am annotating it. I don't know how well you can see that, but I am annotating it. I'm just having a really fun time. I would like to try and finish this book this weekend, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. We'll talk about why in a little bit, but I think we're going to start off reading this today when we get past this introduction. But yeah, so this is my priority to finish this weekend, but if I don't, it's okay. I just want to take my time and have fun with it, because I really just want to absorb everything that Susanna Clarke is bringing to the table. I texted Max at the part that I was at, and he was like, it just all goes downhill from there. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we'll see how that goes in a little bit. And then the third book that I'm reading, because you know I gotta have a Kindle book on me for when I go places, is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Yes, it is finally time for me to read this book. I was stuck between this book, Jade City, and A Dowry of Blood for what I was going to read on my Kindle. And Ruthless Vows just won. It was time. It was time, and I am so glad that I am reading it now, because I got to read some of it today while me and my mom ran some errands, and Rebecca Ross is just such a talented writer. Divine Rivals was the first book that I read by her, and I just loved that book. It was incredible. And then Bestie Allie picked Dreams Lie Beneath, another one of her books, for one of our buddy reads, and I read that and I loved that book too. So Rebecca Ross is definitely now an auto-buy author for me. She's just so talented in the worlds that she creates, in the romance that she writes, and the romance isn't even like, it is like the real bread and butter, but just the world is so interesting and the characters are incredible, and reading this has been such a breath of fresh air, because I read Divine Rivals like last year, I think, in July, and I just kind of forgot how much I loved that story and the characters and just everything, the world, the lore, like everything about that book I loved. And so reading Ruthless Vows and like getting back into it has been such a delight, and I'm having a great time. Everyone in the reviews that I've seen have said that this book is slow, and I definitely would say that I agree so far. But the point is, because it's so slow, is because we're learning more about the war, and we are also just learning more about Iris and how she's dealing what she went through. Oh, there she is. Welcome. This is Maisie. She is not looking at you right now, but hopefully I can get her to turn around and look at you guys. But this is her. I knew she was going to make an appearance at some point. Okay, so it definitely is going slower than book 1 did, but it's because we are learning more about the war. We're learning more about the two gods that are at war with each other. We're also just learning more about Iris and how she has been dealing with everything that has happened since Divine Rivals. Obviously, she's experienced some loss, but she's also brought some people back into her life. And so it just is taking its time. And for that, I cannot be mad, because Rebecca Ross knows what she's doing. And I really, really feel that reading this book is going to make me feel even more connected to the story, because we're just getting that background and that depth involved. Those are the 3 books that I am currently in the middle of right now. I really don't plan to fully finish any of them this weekend. If I can finish Piranesi, that would be great, but I am not counting on it. Tomorrow we are actually doing a couple of things. Tomorrow in the morning I'm getting my nails done, and then me and my boyfriend are going to be going to the state fair because it's his birthday. It's like his birthday celebration that he wanted to do, so we're gonna be doing that tomorrow. And then you know, we'll just see where everything else takes us. I don't have any other plans other than that. So yeah, as of right now, I have some friends that are on Discord right now, so I'm gonna join them, and I think we're gonna start with Piranesi today, because I really do just want to dive deeper into this, especially after that comment that Max made. I do want to see how it goes downhill from here. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit, and we'll have some updates about how everything's going. this angle is not the most flattering, but I think we just got some insight into who Piranesi is. And if this is true, then I feel so bad for this man. Oh my gosh. I really hope that this is not true, but I'm gonna keep reading and we'll find out. But oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. She has come, oh, excuse my classical music playing in the background, but she has come to sit with me, I guess. Oh, now she's sitting on my book, so that's, oh. It is quite some time later, and I have been binging Piranesi basically since I last updated you, which I guess was like a couple hours ago, possibly. Max was not kidding when he said that the part that I was at is when everything goes downhill, because this book has just gotten so crazy. We're talking about like scientific murders that have gotten to a point of like ritualistic stuff. We're talking about people being trapped inside of walls. Like, it's just gotten so crazy in a way that I really wasn't expecting, because when you go on Goodreads, this book, it says that it's like a fantasy, but this book is definitely not fantasy. I don't even know really what genre I would put this in, because it's like a mixture of like, you have this fantastical world, but a lot of it heavily relies on scientific discovery and like the pursuit of knowledge and that kind of thing. So I really don't know what genre I would classify this as, but all I know is that I'm having a really fun time discovering like all of these secrets and what's going on. And I definitely want to try and finish it. I only have like just under 100 pages left, maybe like 90 something. And I would just love to finish this tonight if I could. But my boyfriend is coming over soon, so I guess we're just gonna try and see how far I can get until he gets here, because I'm just having such a fun time. And it's definitely, like I said, it's just taken a turn that I wasn't expecting. I feel like we're in like a mystery kind of thriller-esque vibe right now, because the stuff that has been talked about is crazy. It's just so different, and that's all I can really say. Honestly, I don't really know what rating I'm settling on right now. I feel like maybe a 4, but I feel like if it keeps going the way that it's going and it like explodes at the end, which is the vibe that I'm getting, I think it could potentially be a 5. Yeah, I guess we'll stay tuned with that and see what happens. But yeah, I'm just having such a fun time, and I'm gonna keep reading now, and hopefully I'll finish it. If not, I'll update you when I have to stop, I guess. right, y'all. I am now starting part 5, and I'm a bit scared to see where this is going to go. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I forgot to plug in my microphone, so hopefully the audio is not crap on this. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. The betrayal is about to happen. The lies and the deception, they're all about to happen. So we'll see what happens. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Sorry I did not update last night. I was seriously binging Pure Nessie for the longest time. Unfortunately, I did not end up finishing it, but that is why we are here right now, because I have about an hour and a half to 2 hours before we head to the state fair to finish the book. And so momentarily I'm going to, I'm going to get my headphones. I'm going to tune in and get so invested so I can finish this book before we have to go to the state fair. I do plan to try and get some clips of the state fair, but probably not too many because I really just want to focus on spending time with my boyfriend for his birthday. But yeah, so far, thoughts on Pure Nessie. I am still really enjoying it. Like I said, I just feel like the story is so unique, and it's just, I haven't read anything like it before. And earlier in the vlog, I said that I couldn't really think of what genre I would classify this story as, and I think I've decided, or like finally narrowed it down to dark academia. On the tag it says sci-fi, but I just don't really think it's giving sci-fi. I definitely think it's giving like dark academia with a hint of magic. So yeah, that's what I've decided. We got some dark academia going on. But yeah, I'm just still really enjoying it. The only con that I would say that I have about this book is that it was very predictable, and you know, it could change in the last 50 pages, so I say that lightly, but from the very beginning, I knew who the antagonist was, and I knew, you know, what was going to happen between the characters and, you know, the betrayals that was going to happen. So I really hope that these last 50 pages prove me wrong, and maybe it's not as predictable as I thought it was. But, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna get started on finishing that before I head out to the state fair. On the way to the state fair, I do plan to read some of Ruthless Vows. So yeah, but first we're gonna prioritize getting this done. So I will update you guys either when I finish or when we are on our way to the state fair. right, y'all, there's a cat on my lap, so don't mind her if you see her pop up. But I have officially finished Piranesi. It's about like an hour later, an hour and a half. This book was so good. Like, the ending was just, it was so beautiful. And now I'm conflicted on what rating I want to give it, because I don't really like doing half stars or like 4.75, that kind of deal. I really like to solidify things. Right now, I'm still thinking that it is going to be a 4, just because, like I said, it was pretty predictable for me on what was going to happen. But I don't know, like, the ending was just so emotional and it was so good. And like, Piranesi just like finding out his identity and what he's like, and how he just was a citizen of the house, and just having that, I just like, I can't even describe it. I feel like happy right now. Like, I just feel so like gushy about this book. So I think I'm gonna sit on it, and then once I finish this vlog, really decide on my rating. But I think right now I'm gonna stick with a 4. But I definitely think that everyone should read this book, or at least give it a try, because it's so unique. Like, it has a lot of the classic dark academia tropes where it's like, oh, it turns into murders and rituals and that kind of thing, but it just has like a magical oh, she's trying to jump up again. It has like a magical touch to it, and so I just really enjoyed it, and I'm like so happy that I got to have the time today to finish it. But yeah, so I wanted to update you with that. My boyfriend is currently out getting a car wash because he wants us to have a nice fresh car to go to the state fair. So while he's out doing that, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to love on my cat, because she is desperate for some pets right now. And then I am going to try and clean up my room a little bit. It's feeling pretty messy, so I'm going to try and clean that up a little bit. And then if I have some time, try and read a couple of pages of The Priory of the Orange Tree before heading out for the state fair. So yeah, loved Piranesi. Definitely very happy that I read it, and I definitely can see why it is beloved by all. And it even says here, destined to become a work of classic fantasy. Agreed. All right, I'll update you guys later when I probably head out to the state fair. Hello, good morning everybody. Happy Sunday. Yesterday, as I said, we went to the state fair and it was super fun. I tried to get a little bit of footage on that, but I did want to focus on just spending the time with me and my boyfriend because it was for his birthday. But we had a pretty fun time. I think a lot of it was we just did not plan accordingly based off of like everything that was going on and like how long they were open till and that kind of thing. But we still did have a very fun time. So grateful for that. Today, I was looking to just have like a super chill day inside reading. However, my boyfriend has other plans. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees, so pretty nice out. So he wants to go to a park because he loves fishing. So we're gonna go to a park for a little bit and grab something to eat. And I'm going to commit some shoulder suicide because I'm going to bring The Priory of the Orange Tree with me because I have not gotten to read any of this weekend, and I definitely would like to. I'm on page 206, just got to chapter 18, so we are starting to dive deeper into the story and the characters and all that good stuff, so definitely want to read some of this today. What I forgot to update you on actually is that on the way to and from the state fair yesterday, I ended up, oh, there's a lizard on my window, sorry. I ended up reading some of Ruthless Vows, and I am still having a really great time. I'm really enjoying the fact that we're learning more about the two gods that are at war with each other through the main characters. I think it's really, really cool. So that's all I really have to say on that, because spoilers and everything like that. But yeah, so those are the plans. I'm gonna take y'all along with us to the park, and I also am going to bring Ruthless Vows for the car ride and such, but when we actually get there, the Priory of the Orange Tree is going to be my main priority. So hopefully I can get a little bit of this read this weekend before I have to, you know, go back to the work grind tomorrow. So yeah, I will see you guys at the park. Hello. It is time to end this vlog. I am just gonna do a quick little wrap up. The first thing I ended up reading this week was Piranesi. I read like the entire second half, so over 100, like probably 150 pages of that. And I am going to be settling on a 4-star rating for that. I really, really, really enjoyed it. The ending, I was still thinking about it. It was just a beautiful ending. It was such a unique story, and I really had an awesome time reading it. However, I did just feel that it was predictable in who the protagonist or not the protagonist, in who the antagonist was going to be, and you know how the outcome of that was going to go. So because of that, I am just going to dock it down a star. But I really, like I said, I can't say enough how much I enjoyed it. It was just such a fun experience, and it was so addicting. And I literally on Friday started with like only half of the book read, and then just between Friday and Saturday just zoomed through the rest of it, and I loved it. It was so great. I also read about 50 pages of Ruthless Vows. Once again, I can't get too into that book because it is a sequel to Divine Rivals, but I'm still really enjoying that. I am really enjoying the fact that we are getting more of the lore and the history between Enva and Dacre, which are the two gods that are at war with each other throughout the series. So we're learning a little bit about that, and we're just learning a little bit more in general about the gods and the world and the history / lore of, you know, the story that we already know. So really enjoying that. And then I did not read too much of The Power of the Orange Tree this weekend. When we did go to the park yesterday, there was just kind of a lot going on, so I couldn't really focus too well, but I did read about 30 pages of that, but I did end up getting to part 2. So I am pleased with that progress. I have been reading it for like probably a month or 2 now, so I am really pleased that I finally have gotten to the second part in the book. So I definitely am gonna continue to work through that slowly but surely. But yeah, if you stayed till the end of the video, thanks for watching. I know it's been a long time coming for an upload, and once again, I'm sorry about that. I really do want to try and start uploading. I can't promise consistently, but you know, I'll start uploading more again, because I really have missed YouTube and I've missed talking about the books that I have been reading and enjoying and just talking with y'all. So yes, I do plan to start trying to film somewhat regularly again. But yeah, thanks for joining me on this cozy reading slash busy weekend vlog, whatever you want to call this. And I will see you next time for my next video. Bye!